I love these kind of videos too, because like I said earlier, documentaries are fire. Let me know if the audio is too loud. I think I should have it like set pretty good. McDonald's Monopoly scam. Let's see what's happening.
Inside a stuffy field office of the FBI in Jacksonville. It's a notoriously sleepy outpost of the Bureau. Until today.
McDonald's was started in Florida?
A mysterious informant calls up the office to let them know that the famous beloved McDonald's Monopoly game is rigged.
I didn't know that.
Criminals have been secretly pulling the strings for over a decade. More than $24 million have been stolen. The FBI kicks off a manhunt with 25 agents on the case. 20,000 phone numbers will be surveilled. It will ultimately result in a massive undercover sting operation.
I just came up with the biggest lick of all time. I just thought of something. Wait until the McDonald's owners have like a daughter or something and then marry into the family. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna be a billionaire. I just broke the code.
The agents will discover that behind this scheme is a vast network of mafiosos, psychics, strip club owners, and Mormons. But one mastermind sits at the center of it all. He holds the keys to the treasure and rakes in most of the profits. He's known by most as Uncle Jerry. How did he do it?
Uncle Jerry, talk to me. But McDonald's is low-key overrated. I haven't had McDonald's seriously. I haven't like ate it consistently and like really seriously in probably like a year and a half, 2 years. Year and a half. I used to eat it a lot when I streamed on YouTube. When I was younger though, oh man, I was going crazy on McDonald's.
Starting in 1987, McDonald's launched the Monopoly promotion and started putting little game pieces from Monopoly onto their packaging.
This is Jeff May.
Oh, they're not. I'm slow. I read this wrong. They're not saying McDonald's Monopoly scam in terms of like the company is a monopoly. They're saying in terms of like, I guess they had a Monopoly board game.
He's a crime journalist who broke the story in 2018, 17 years after the convictions. His article went viral and set off a holiday bidding war for the rights to his story. He ultimately sold them for $1 million.
And I have one here. I don't collect many things from my stories, but I do have one of the original winning game cups here. It says pull to play, and on the side you can just see it says to collect and win, just peel off the game stamp and apply to your game board. And when you've applied enough pieces to your game board...
Yeah, I'm slow. I thought they were talking about like a Monopoly business.
Prize, you mail it off to McDonald's and they send you your Sega Game Gear or your Dodge Viper.
McDonald's usually runs the game twice per year. The cash prizes are up to $1 million in an instant win. The chance at winning that prize is 1 in 250 million. The game brings McDonald's fat profits. Whenever the game is running, business increases by up to 40% more than usual. 1 in 250 million is an extremely long shot. You're far more likely to get struck by lightning, twice.
Dang.
But the caller on the phone with the agents
Could be doing anything for that money
that day said that 3 of the recent big-ticket winners were in fact related, despite having different names. The odds for 3 legitimate winners to all be related are inconceivably low. The caller also claimed that one man, who they only knew by Uncle Jerry, was the mastermind behind the scheme. The FBI doesn't know this yet, but his full name is Jerome Jacobson. In a case like this, the FBI might have to...
That is crazy how like lotteries and stuff work. You can spend like $5 on a ticket and become a multi-millionaire.
Evidence. But what if someone collects all this information about you and they don't have a legitimate reason? Today, the internet is full of threats. Some of them involve our most sensitive information. In fact, there is a huge shadow industry surrounding our data. This and cognitive information.
He's got a good talking voice. I almost didn't pick up on
that. To 4 additional people. Always handle your personal data with care.
Jerry Jacobson is one of those just incredible characters in American true crime history, because he was at one stage a good guy, a police officer in Florida.
As a kid, Jerry is obsessed with becoming an FBI agent. When he starts working as a police officer, it seems like he's on that track. But his career in law enforcement is very brief. He develops health problems and is unable to continue. Later, he finds a job in security at Simon Marketing. This is where he really finds his stride. He's known for being ultra-professional and ultra-fastidious, so he quickly rises through the ranks. In just a few years, he's earning 6 times his police officer salary.
Dang! 6 times? Let's do some math. 6 times a police officer salary. Let's say they make $50,000 a year. Times that by 6. He's making $300,000 a year. It's crazy.
It's the end of the 80s. Jerry is now the head of security at Simon Marketing. McDonald's outsources almost all of their promotional activity to the company. So when the chain comes up with the ingenious idea of starting a monopoly promotion, Simon Marketing is tasked with producing and distributing the game pieces.
So it was Jerry's job to ensure the security of the entire promotion. So he arrived at work, he had to supervise the big supercomputer that would draw the winning piece. He would supervise.
He would just take the winning ticket to people he knows.
Putting the winning tokens onto the packaging. He had to personally scissor them out from a printing press.
Jerry's a tough boss. As a former cop, he's obsessed with rules and security. He's constantly writing up people for little missteps, and he hounds everyone in the factory involved in token production, even following them to the bathroom and checking their shoes to make sure none have been stolen. Jerry personally delivers the winning pieces to McDonald's packaging.
Let's be honest, if I wanted to steal that ticket and I was an employee, you're not finding it. I'm putting it in the most outrageous place that you can't check. And I'm walking out there and using that ticket. If I wanted to, I wouldn't do it. But if I really wanted to, you're not finding that ticket, for being honest.
Across the country.
He hides each piece in a secret vest that he wears under his shirt as he's traveling around the United States, feeling a little bit like a secret agent or a superhero with a secret. Every time he arrives in a new state, he's carrying a secret piece that's going to make somebody a millionaire.
When new game pieces are released, Jerry makes a big, flashy show of how secure the process was. In truth, Jerry starts stealing from McDonald's. His first theft is small fry. At this point, he only wants to help his stepbrother Marvin Braun out and maybe show off a bit to prove that he can. So in 1989, he gives Marvin a game piece worth $25,000. Marvin is the first fake winner. Pretty much a victimless crime, right?
I mean, that's the W man. He's looking out for his family. It's not like he's scamming the general public. I mean, he is. But it's not like he's doing it intentionally and just, you know what I mean? He's looking out for his family. You gotta respect it, honestly. How long is this vid? It's like 20 minutes. So we got like another 10 minutes, it'll be over with.
Giving away the money anyway. And it's not like the chain is some noble charity. The game earns them considerable profits. Plus, Jerry later testifies that whenever the computer selected a Canadian factory to get a winning token, Simon Marketing would allegedly run the program again so that a US location was chosen. In Jerry's view, this means the game is already rigged in favor of American players. So why not get his own piece of the pie?
Let's be honest, McDonald's is not missing a few million.
In the local supermarket, and he tells the butcher what's going on, and the butcher says, well, I'd like to win.
Jerry agrees, but he wants to make sure that nothing traces back to him.
What?
So he instructs the butcher to give the prize to a friend of his.
And of course, Jerry turns on his television one day,
and
there's a commercial from McDonald's with a lucky winner on it, and he sees his butcher celebrating his win, and he goes crazy. And he calls the butcher and says, what are you doing? We know each other. You can't... We're friends. So Jerry decides that in the future he's going to have to find winners at random. He needs people that are not connected to him at all. And so the conspiracy grows bigger.
Bro, I don't know how... Bro, I'm telling you, I can run this up all a couple mil, bro. I'm telling you, like... Allegedly, if I was to do this... Well, I ain't even actually do it. I'm just... If I were to actually do this, bro, I'd run us all up a good couple million, bro. Like, I know how to, like, not like make it look suspicious and everything. Like, we all be up 10. I'm telling you, bro. And it wouldn't get traced to us or nothing. And, bro, McDonald's is not hurt over no $10 million, bro. It's a multi-billion-dollar company. They are not hurt about a couple million. Bro, that's like you dropping $1. Like, do you really care if you drop? I mean, you could use $1, right? Everyone could use one. But if you dropped $1, you wouldn't. It's not the end of the world. I'm telling you, bro. They could really look out. Where my mill at? I need that $1? Nah, for sure. Okay. You need that $1.
At this point, it's all relatively small amounts of money. But one day, Jerry receives a package by mistake.
I'm gonna be honest.
Inside a blank
I'm
set
searching
of
everywhere.
anti-tamper seals from Hong Kong, which means that he has everything he needs to open the envelopes and steal the game pieces for himself, and then use a spare seal to stick it back down and basically get away with the crime. Simon Marketing, the company that Jerry works for, hired
He said that's a
him
small
in order
fry,
to
I need
make
that
sure
dollar.
everything's going okay. Remember, this is a multi-million-dollar promotion. They have to be all buttoned up.
The auditor is a very serious woman. She means business. She accompanies Jerry everywhere, and Jerry's always getting on her nerves. When he wants to fly first class on the company card, she insists on sitting in coach. He's getting drunk and bragging to her about it, showing off the empty liquor bottles. He's shutting up whoever will listen, bragging about once.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm doing the same thing. I'm flying first class if I'm a McDonald's employee. I'm flying. Sorry. I'm flying first class on company business card if I'm an employee. You're not finna put me in the back of the. There's no way it's happening. I'm flying first class. 20% of a chicken sandwich from Chick-fil-A. Okay, yeah, you got me. You sold me with the Chick-fil-A. You're right.
He's also obsessed with accumulating airline points, so he's flying to factories in random cities just because. And the
Okay,
whole
now
time she
he's
has to
tweaking.
follow him. She's watching Uncle Jerry like a hawk. Her job is to make sure that when Jerry hands the winning ticket over to a factory, that everything goes as it should, that the tickets always stay in his special security vest. And they do, up to a point. The point where she can't follow him.
What, a bathroom? I'm so good! Oh my god.
In the men's bathroom, Jerry quits procrastinating. With a few quick, deliberate movements, he takes the envelopes with winning pieces out of his vest, opens the seal, and replaces them with regular game pieces. He seals the envelope back down with one of his special anti-tamper seals, the godsend from Hong Kong, and slinks back to his seat like nothing ever happened. The auditor has no idea.
Now I'm finna go sleep. I got class tomorrow. Alright, Muff. Appreciate you stopping by, bro. Stay
If the
safe.
anti-tamper seals had not been accidentally mailed to him, and the auditor assigned to him hadn't been female, maybe none of this would have happened.
How did
Or
you know
maybe
he
if
was
he
doing that in
ignored
the
the text-
bathroom? Great question. He probably confessed to it or something.
He would have enjoyed a nice, normal, comfortable life. Adjusted for inflation, he was earning over $170K per year in today's money. But he went for it. For Jerry, the opportunity to control the game is no accident. He doesn't believe in accidents. He's a superstitious man.
I know that at that time,
He's making almost 200 grand a year, and
this is
he
kinda
risked
silly.
it all for no reason.
At this time, he starts seeing psychics and mediums to reassure him. He's a strong believer in paranormal and faith healers. So he starts seeing mediums and psychics and fortune tellers.
That's how much everyone in
Jerry
your
now
neighborhood
has
even
full
makes
access
a
to
year.
the winning game pieces, but he can't cash them in himself, of course. That would arouse suspicion. He needs to find fake winners who will pay him upfront for the game piece. His butcher, for example, asks a distant friend to pay $2,000 for a $10,000 winning ticket. The higher the prize, the higher the cost. Up to $100,000 upfront for a $1 million ticket. And it works. But quickly Jerry starts to tap through his network. He needs to put distance between himself and the winners. He's on the look for middlemen, well-connected people who can industrialize the operation, and being a superstitious person, he takes chance encounters as meaningful signs.
So he's at the airport one day, and
So he's basically giving them 10%. He's getting 10% back of what he's giving them. Give me 100,000, I'll give you $1 million. That's very generous.
another Jerry Colombo, and the two hit it off, waiting there for their aeroplanes. Mr. Colombo is a very heavy-set Italian-American gentleman, and Mr. Colombo claimed that he was part of the infamous Colombo crime family.
Colombo is a larger-than-life character, like someone who modeled his whole personality off of The Sopranos, and Uncle Jerry is lapping it all up.
He's an entertainer. He says
W.
he's
Mr.
born in
Colombo?
Sicily, raised in Brooklyn. He's got these underground casinos, and I think Jerry is just completely enamored by him. And he also seems like the type of guy that could find winners really easily.
Colombo even has an out-of-zone strip club in South Carolina that he got designated as a house of worship in order to skirt regulations. He calls it the Church of the Fuzzy Bunnies, and he has the dancers read the Bible before they start stripping.
Well, I guess God hasn't talked to you
Insane.
lately.
That's
He came to me
actually
in a dream
insane.
a couple weeks ago, and he told me what I'm doing is fine.
Uncle Jerry appreciates Columbo's ability to think outside the box. It doesn't take much to rope Columbo into the scam. Uncle Jerry passes Columbo a game piece for a Dodge Viper, and Columbo is hooked. He is also obsessed with The Godfather, surprise surprise, and has dreams of being an actor. So he agrees to be in a McDonald's commercial, waving a car key.
Jerry Columbo won a Dodge Viper, and there are two 1 million.
He gets to live out his acting ambitions, but it means he's now too close to the game to profit from it directly, so he has to start finding other winners, which helps the scheme take off for Uncle Jerry. Columbo is brilliant at finding new winners willing to pay, and he sends the majority of the kickbacks to Uncle Jerry. The two Jerrys are making each other very rich. Jerry Columbo keeps picking Italian-American men on the East Coast as winner, and his father-in-law gets a $1 million piece. Not exactly the move of a mastermind mafioso.
Yeah, that was very
To
dumb.
make the win seem random, his wife Robin convinces him to get women and people of color winning tickets in other parts of the country. For a while, it's all going so well. But then, everything changes.
Things are not going very well in Columbo's marriage. Robin Columbo's feeling like she might not want to be a mafia wife.
Don't
She's
tell
feeling
me
that
she's finna snitch. If she snitches, that's actually bad. Like, wow. She'd go that low.
Paranoid about life in the mob. And one day she's driving with her husband, Columbo, and suddenly a massive Ford truck smashes into them. And it's a horrendous high-speed crash, and their car is crushed against a concrete wall.
That's a jump
Columbo
scare.
is taken to the hospital, where he takes a turn for the worse. He dies a few days after the crash. Now Uncle Jerry is alone. He's just lost his super recruiter, and he doesn't know it yet, but the FBI is on his trail.
Who
Dang,
knows?
they
We
hired
don't
the
know. So
FBI
many
from
people could have
McDonald's.
called the FBI, a disgruntled winner.
Yeah, R.I.P.
Remember, a lot
Columbo,
of these
bro.
winners, their lives
That was a crazy
change.
jump scare, bro.
One minute they're poor, the next minute they got $1 million. They're driving around in a Corvette. There's a lot of jealousy. There's now so many corrupt winners out there, dozens of people. They might be drunk, bragging
They
about
bought
it
a
at the
Corvette. That's the first
Uncle
thing they
Jerry
did.
finds new recruiters to replace Jerry Columbo's role. Some are dodgy, like the drug trafficker.
Hey, I ain't even gonna cap, bro. If I was to ever get rich, the first thing I'm buying, honestly, I just redo my whole setup. I'm talking $10,000 PC. Like, that's the first. Actually, I'm capping. Nah, I don't know. That'd definitely be top 3 though. Outside of giving money to like family members who actually need it, the first thing I do is buy myself is like a new setup. That's my first initial thing. Like cars and stuff, I don't really see the joy in like having flashy materialistic objects. I'll probably never buy diamonds and like crazy watches and stuff because I just don't see the joy in it. Don't quote me on that. If I do end up getting one, it'll just be one. I'm not going to be that guy who has like 4 different watches, 20 different chains. Like, if I buy one good watch, it'll just be one good watch. But, yeah, I don't see the point in like having all that stuff.
Glomb. He's
I'd get
just
back to
jumped
my
on
neighborhood,
for a
that's
12-year
respectable.
sentence for shipping kilos of cocaine across
First
the
thing I'm
US
doing is
and
gifting
sells
1 million
most of his winning
subs.
pieces to buddies in the
My
drug dealing
guy.
business. Other recruiters that Uncle Jerry finds are seemingly upstanding, like the Mormon Dwight Baker, a beloved member of his church with no previous criminal record. He's a real estate developer with 5 kids trying to get his dreams for a golf course and a luxury resort off the ground. But he struggled to find investors, and he also owes tens of thousands of dollars in back taxes. A windfall would really help him, so despite his moral misgivings, he gets involved in the scheme too. But none of the recruiters are careful enough. The winners they select aren't random.
So no one had enough brain cells to do a
Back in
random
2000,
selection?
when the FBI gets the name Uncle Jerry from the informant, they know nothing about who it could be. Is he a McDonald's insider? Is it even a real name? McDonald's shares the contact information of all the previous winners with the FBI. To find out who Uncle Jerry is, the officers analyze the winners' phone records to determine who they were in frequent contact with right around the time.
Now you like
they
that
win.
shirt? Nah, I
All
actually
these
can't
people
do it.
who are
Bro, relax. This is a gift. Don't make me rip it. Wait, that's actually scary. I'll have to take my shirt. I'll take my shirt off right now. Don't do that. That's scary, bro.
seemingly unrelated and don't know each other were in contact with a certain Jerome Jacobson. The FBI is sure they found their man, but they need proof, like a taped conversation with Jerry and a fake winner that spells out what they're up to, evidence that no jury could deny. They convince McDonald's to run one more Monopoly game to catch him red-handed. It's certainly a reputational risk for the company. How would the public feel if they found out McDonald's had run a game they knew was rigged? But the company also wants to know who'd stolen millions from them, so they comply.
Together with McDonald's, the FBI come up with a McSting.
They create 2 big wins worth $1 million each. They then monitor Jerry Jacobson and his network closely and wait for someone to claim the prices. They listen in on a phone call of a friend of the Mormon Dwight Baker, Huey. He says that he plans to sell the winning prize to someone in Texas. This someone turns out to be his brother-in-law, who tries to claim the price a few days later.
What's with them and brother and fathers-in-law? Make it 50,000. On everything you just read my brain. I was gonna do 50,000, literally. I was gonna do 50,000. You literally just read my brain.
Recruited by Andrew Glom, the drug trafficker.
Now, Mr. Hoover is bankrupt and a casino pit boss in Rhode Island. So a bit of a sketchy character. So he rings the hotline and says, I found $1 million game ticket. So the FBI and McDonald's decide to go down there to meet him. They knock on the door. They've got a giant check, you know, the comedy-sized checks, and a video crew, and all of the McDonald's staff are actually FBI agents who are undercover. And so they do a television interview, and Mr. Hoover gives this long-winded story about how he found his magic ticket. He bought a copy of a magazine, and the magazine had fallen into the sea, and then he bought another magazine and the ticket was in there. So the camera crew listened to this very patiently. The men behind the camera are undercover FBI agents, and they give him his prize and they take all that evidence, and not long after that the FBI descend and they arrest everyone. So the FBI fans out, they arrest Uncle Jerry at home.
Dang, they cracked down on everybody.
Over 50 people were indicted, and dozens of wins were proven to be fake. Jerry admitted on the stand to having stolen 60 game pieces. And for a while, America followed the consequences intensely. So many millions had played the McDonald's game, so people were invested in the story. Burger King tried to get a class action lawsuit together, alleging fake advertisement. The trial began on September 10th, 2001.
Burger King, grimy. They try to get their own. Nah, we gotta run that back. Burger King is grimy. They sued McDonald's over fake promotion. They really trying to get something back. That's insane, actually. That's actually insane if you think about it. Burger King that's actually insane. That's genuinely insane. I'm not gonna lie.
Game, so people were invested in the story. Burger King tried to get a class action lawsuit together, alleging fake advertisement. The trial began on September 10th, 2001.
I would be if I'm McDonald's, I'm mad if they been had beef. If I'm McDonald's, I'm so mad that I have to pay a lawsuit because one idiot was inside stealing money. Like, low-key, think about it. They have to pay a lawsuit to Burger King, right? Because one idiot. Not to mention all the people who didn't have a fair chance. If they ask for a refund, it's like, dang, is that illegal? Is that illegal too? Like, do they have to do reimbursions? Like, how does that even work?
The world's attention shifted. There were bigger things to care about than the McDonald's PR scandal. Nearly all of the 53 defendants pled guilty, including Uncle Jerry. Fines were issued and prison time was sentenced.
Dang.
Uncle Jerry got the most, $12 million in restitution fees, and a 37-month prison sentence.
What?
Simon Marketing and the printing company who made the tokens
only 37 months,
leaving hundreds jobless. And Dwight Baker was excommunicated from the Mormon Church.
Bro, that's like federal scamming. He only got 37 months.
The game of Monopoly was invented in the 1930s, the decade of the Great Depression, by a feminist activist. She intended to teach people about the evils of wealth accumulation. By the 1980s, the decade of greed, the game's original purpose was distorted. McDonald's, a multi-billion-dollar corporation, used it as a way to make even more money. Then, that game was overtaken by an ex-cop called Uncle Jerry, who defrauded the corporation of millions. He turned himself into a real-life Uncle Pennybags, running around the United States, giving some people money, but taking more for himself.
At this
the
point,
perfect
low-key
American fable. Uncle Jerry lived the high life for over a decade, but as anyone who's played Monopoly knows, sometimes you have to go to jail. It's just part of the game. Considering the huge amount of money stolen, the high price the investigation cost U.S. citizens, and the many people who lost their jobs through no fault of their own, Uncle Jerry's...
I don't know if his car to go by. What's good, man? Mans and kid? What's happening, bro?
3-year sentence feels like a light slap on the wrist. He's retired in Georgia with his 7th wife in a nice big house. Sure, he has to pay back $12 million, but at a relaxed rate of just $370 per month. Besides, people who are close to him are sure he kept some millions buried as a contingency.
Oh, they're
plan.
worth $217
That's just
billion?
the kind of guy he was.
Bro, he had all that money and he still did the scheme. Ain't that crazy? Like, if I had a fraction of the money he had, I'd be so happy. But he had all that. That just goes to show people are never going to be satisfied in life. They're going to always want more every single time. It's never enough. That was a great video, though. I'm not going to lie. I got to give it a solid 9 out of 10. It's a really good documentary.